Good morning. Welcome to Morning Matcha, the show where you get to watch me try and wake up, which is gonna be a little bit tricky today. Scobson, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Thanks for waiting. Yeah, it's well, it's 9:30. Look at that. We got some morning sunshine here. Pull on the curtains. There we go. If you guys aren't in the US, you probably don't know that we had to do a daylight savings time switch, so that always creates all sorts of fun confusion. Let me get a couple posts up and going about this, because I just want to make sure we get everybody in here to enjoy some tea with us. So you guys can let me know about your weekend, and let me know what you guys are drinking this morning or afternoon or evening, as it may be. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Get something nice. Let's see. So what are you up to, Scobson? What have you been working on, man? You've got all sorts of fun little projects you've been working on. I like you send me your woodworking stuff. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Join us this morning for Morning Matcha live on YouTube. And there we go. Yeah, we've been having all sorts of fun trying to handle YouTube support, trying to get my Morning Matcha stream not banned. I don't understand what it is. Every single week it gets flagged and it gets taken down temporarily. And good morning, Ty. You just woke up at 1:30 in the afternoon. Wow, that must be nice. You clearly don't have children in your life. Get a shareable link. One sec. View this on YouTube. Turn the volume down. All right, gonna make one or two quick little posts here. Get it on Facebook. Post it to YouTube. All the places. Get it around. Let people see it. Share. Bam. All right. One sec, guys. One sec. We'll get this started here. Create a post. Join us. Join us this morning for some live tea. And the Crimson Lotus one. Create post. One sec, guys. We're almost there. We're up and... Okay, all right. I think we're good. I think we're set. I think I got my handful of posts. I didn't post it on Reddit, but I don't know. Reddit's a little awkward sometimes. So yes, good morning, everybody. Scobson's been pretty quiet recently. You and your dad are working on a guitar project? That's actually super awesome. That's really cool. Scobson's got some 2006 Long Hub Peacock tribute ripe after dinner. So this is what we've got. Today. This is a nice big pile of really dark leaves, if that can see that. If we can focus on that. That's this is from Shan. This is Matcha. Shan's one of the first some of the first farmers that we actually met back in 2013, 2014. Shan is pretty remote area, actually. It was kind of awkward getting into there. It's a little bit better now, but the roads are still pretty tough, and it's pretty decent ways off the main road. So I have not had this tea yet. This tea was actually shipped to us recently. It's not a 2021 spring production, but I think it's from last spring. The farmer had some extra stuff left over and sent us a sample, and so we've got it here. But I've actually not had a chance to drink it yet. So if I'm in the analyzing tea mode, I'm not going to use a teapot. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this Gaiwan, and I'm going to use I'm not going to use a filter. I'm not going to use anything fancy. I'm going to use just porcelain. So we're going to see what this does, and I'm going to analyze this a little bit more as if I would a tea for purchase. Which technically this is we have the option to purchase this tea. So I'll see what it can do. There we go. Ty, thankfully you do not have kids yet. Kids are, yeah, they're a wonderful blessing. That's all I can say. No, our kids are pretty good. It's just some things get a little. It just takes kids. It's just a different life when you got kids. Had to wake up early, get Gemma to preschool today, which she thoroughly enjoys. She's very excited about going to preschool. Mr. Unix, what a name! Never met Mr. Unix before. Congratulations! I love your operating system. Excellent work on many years of quality internet-based operating systems, Mr. Unix. Which flavor of Mr. Unix are you? And yeah, you're in Croatia. Awesome. Love seeing some European people in here. It's pretty great. Good evening from Germany. This is why I like morning matchas, because I get a chance to have tea with everybody on the other side of the pond. Yeah. So like I said earlier, if you guys don't know, this is the weekend when America decides we're all going to collectively lie about what time it was. So we've got the saying "spring forward, fall back." So in spring we move the time forward. So it means we lose an hour in spring. So sitting there, you're up, you're working late, it's like 1 o'clock, you're like, hey, it's not too bad, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, is today the time shift? It's not actually 1 o'clock, it's actually 2 o'clock. I just lost the whole hour of sleep. Yeah, it's just like this really weird thing. I don't agree with the time shift at all. I think it's a horrible thing, but it's just this really funny thing when everyone just collectively lies. They're like, yeah, it was 2 o'clock, but now it's actually 3 o'clock. We're all just going to pretend it's an entirely different time. It's bizarre. Look at that beautiful sunshine though. That sun would have been in a different spot. Oh, this is actually nice. Really sweet. If you guys aren't taking a moment to smell your Fairness cup as it cools down after the wash goes in it. Oh, that's nice. Wait, Mr. Unix? Is it Unix or Linux, man? What's going on? I'm teasing. I'm not familiar with Manjaro. Is Manjaro one of the newer distros or release? I spent a long time on early BSD systems in the 90s. Still love hopping down to the command line, getting some stuff done. I'm a Unix guy at heart. Ty, it's just so confusing, the whole ordeal. At least it means we get an extra hour of sunlight. Yeah, it really is. I would rather we just picked one and just stuck with that throughout the whole year. Somebody did the calculations on like the amount of like lost business revenue twice a year just in like failed business meetings. You know, you're dealing with international stuff, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh well, now it's a different time, it's that, where was our meeting, you know, like rescheduling and doing all sorts of stuff. That has deep economic impact, and I don't really feel that it has the benefits that we're told it has. But okay, all right, Manjaro's a little bit easier version of Arch. Okay, that's cool. This is interesting. I've not actually spent much time with buying Shan material recently. What is that? There's an interesting note there. So we went, had a lot of offerings from this tea farmer the first couple years we were doing stuff, primarily because he offered really awesome stuff, and it was a pretty good deal, a pretty good price, pretty good performance for the cost. And then, like, I don't know, I think he maybe just got cocky or something and just assumed, you know, we were always going to be buying from him, and his quality just started to drop. And, you know, we'd, like, if we were there, he'd be like putting in like really strong effort and like working hard and showing us, look at all the work that I'm doing on this tea. And then like that quality tea would be really great, and then we would leave, and then he'd ship us the extra, you know, 50, 100 kilos or whatever we ordered, and then we'd get it, and the tea just wouldn't taste the same. And I don't know, it just got too unpredictable working with him. So we've not actually bought tea from him for a while. Some of our earlier blends, like Hidden Sog, Whispering Sunshine, all came from trees on his farm, and then it just wasn't, it just didn't taste as good anymore, and it was I don't know. So, but he still sends us stuff every now and then, so we'll see what this is. Mr. Unix has a question. Local tea shop sells pu'er from Long Run. Are you familiar with it? They seem just like a big Chinese tea corp. Yeah, it's just a big Chinese tea corp. They may have some good offerings. You know, there's something nice about the consistency of larger tea companies like that. You generally kind of know what you're going to get. Their stuff probably doesn't change much from year to year to year. And if you don't have many other options, I don't think there's anything, bad with Long Run. Kevin House, hey, what's going on? Good morning, you guys. It's good to see you. If you're just tuning in, we're drinking some Buying Shan Matcha 2020 Spring, some material that was sent to us recently. We recently got a nice big packet of samples in from a bunch of different farmers and things that we work with. I've got some extra stuff sitting around. Wanted to see if we were interested in picking some of it up. You know, not being able to be in China this spring and last spring has certainly had an impact on business. It makes things a little bit more difficult. So we kind of have to have stuff shipped here. I still want to have that quality control over our product. It's just kind of hard. I want to taste things. I want to blend things. I want to do it myself. It's been a little bit tricky. Came up with a really nice blend this weekend. It's like, oh man, just finally just worked. You know, I'd been sitting there like trying all these different like ratios and figuring things out, and it wasn't working. And this tea was okay, but this tea was also okay, but then they didn't really seem like they were great by themselves. Tried mixing them together, it was just okay. And then I finally found like the last key to it this weekend. It was just like, made this one blend, and it was just like, man, from the first sip, it was just like, wow, like that was it. Even Lamos was like, yeah, this is good. This is really good. And I was so excited about it. I was like starting to build out a name, working on some design and stuff for it, getting this new product ready. And then Llama was just like, yeah, they don't have that material anymore. And it was just like, oh, like, there goes half the blend. Oh, what can we find to replace it? That was kind of tough. Found that out this morning. I was super excited about this blend all weekend. And then, well, just got to go back to the old blending drawing board for that one, I guess. But we'll just focus on the positives and move forward. This we'll see what this tea does. So there's about 4 different natural varietals in Buying Shan, and I forget exactly what they are. You've got Bun Shan and Mungku and Haiti outside. Look at that, I can remember some of them. And what's the other one? I'm trying to remember which one this one is. See if I can pick it out. The leaves were specifically dark, like super dark, really dark. So we'll see. That's usually the I think the Haiti outside. Haiti outside just means skinny black thing, I think. Haiti outside. Wow, it's super light. Yeah, if this tea doesn't work, I got a backup around here somewhere. What else was I gonna grab? Super light, really not that much body at all. Body's really important for me in a tea. I want something that's really thick and full. Interesting. Pretty light flavor-wise too. It's still just the first steep, but we'll see what it does. Yeah, so I've been having some computer issues with this streaming machine, which is handles everything quite well, but apparently there's some sort of a GPU glitch on this specific. Mr. Unix, what time is it? It's 9:45 a.m. Yeah, so it's early morning. Not really early morning. So I was up around 7 getting the kids to school and stuff. This is the first time I've had a chance to kind of sit down and take a break. Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I've been having some random issues. This computer randomly crashes for no apparent reason. Just kind of makes a big, huge like graphics seize, just like locks up, and then everything else kind of works in the background. Audio and stuff still functions, but then it slowly just seizes itself to death and reboots. Apparently, this specific model of computer graphics card has a long-standing GPU glitch where it just entirely hangs. So the last stream this weekend and morning matcha last week, after about 90 minutes of high intensity GPU work, the graphics card just decides it doesn't want to do anymore and gives itself a big old fat reboot. So we'll see what happens at the 90-minute mark, which is about well, it's still quite a ways away, but just a heads up that there may be a crash, but we shall see. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, let me know what you're drinking today. I'm always curious to see what people are drinking. I guess some of you got evening teas, some of you got morning teas, depending on where you are. Interesting. We'll give this one a couple more steeps and see how it does. It's not wowing me from the get-go though. Yeah, this is a Mac. This is a 2013 Mac Pro, which is quite a solid computer. I got it for free actually from a friend, and it's a very solid computer spec wise. It still does a great amount of work, but it has a D300 card, and the D300, I guess that model came with a D300, D500, and D700, and the D500 and 700 were all replaced by Apple as being like super faulty, and they never replaced the D300s on them, even though the D300 apparently still has the glitches. So yeah, it gets a big, huge, fat GPU restart. It smells really nice here though. Finish some Nong Shang Changping Shuixian. Ty just finished off a mug of show. Going to start up a session of 2020 Emerald Sea in a moment. Very nice. 2020 Emerald Sea turned out really nice. Very happy with that. Happy with the design. Going to try and get her to do some more art for us this year. This is super. This is really savory. It's not bad. It's got a kind of has like a little bit of a vegetable soup quality to it, and Shan kind of always did. Hidden Song certainly has like that savory vegetal impression to it. Whispering Sunshine was the outlier. I think I probably liked Whispering Sunshine, that material, more than any of the others from Shan. I thought that was really special stuff. Dabayako, is that the varietal for that? Something like that. Yeah, her art was great, Ty. It really was. We're working with her. We're gonna get some more of her. Art this year. But I still haven't figured out what yet. But I've got some ideas. Yeah, she does really fun stuff. All right, let's see what round 2 of the Shan does. Yeah, it's this farmer was always super nice to us when we were out there. It took so long to get there. We'd actually have to end up spending a couple days with him there. If you guys have seen any of the posters that I put up on the site, we actually sell like framed posters and framed canvas posters from like photographs and stuff that we've taken during our trip. I think there's a couple pictures in there from buying Shan. There's a picture in there where I'm actually these farmers are also goat herders up in the mountains, and so there's a picture of us working with them, herding some goats up in the Himalayas, and that was a lot of fun. So these are the same farmers as that. Wow, this tea is just super light. Maybe a little bit smoky. This was a farmer we really tried working with them to up their quality stuff the first year. They were still they were just making the tea right in their kitchen, you know, using the same wok that they actually technically had 2 woks. They had one wok for food, and then they'd swap it out and drop it in, and they'd cook that in there. But this is just, it's such a super smoky environment, and a lot of their teas were like really just smoky and heavy and dense. And so we worked with them to kind of show them how to build some chimneys so they can pull the smoke out of that room. But technically, they actually wanted the smoke in that room because they actually like had a bunch of like pork hanging from the ceiling. Right, this is literally like their living room, their kitchen, their everything room. Got a bunch of pork hanging from the ceiling. When they cook in the kitchen, it smokes the pork. So they actually built a separate room just for the just for making the tea. But then, as soon as it rained, they would just take all the tea and bring it back inside, right into the kitchen area, and so it would still get smoked again. So, not really feeling it. Not really feeling it with this tea this morning, guys. Give it another steep and see what happens. But if you guys aren't feeling it with the tea, how long do you stick with it? It's not bad. It's just really light. It's just really light. Do have another tea we can try though. Man, we found one like super mega bitter tea. It's crazy bitter. Posted about that this weekend. It's not this one here. This is from Manjuan. This one might be nice. We'll give that a try if this one doesn't work. It is a really small farm, Mr. Unix. I mean, most of the farms in China are pretty relatively small, unless they've got a larger industrial organization going on. But they've got a decent number of really high quality old growth trees, and this is old growth material, but it's just not. I just don't think it was processed really well, and that's it's a little tricky to. It's a little tricky when you find those situations when you've got like really high quality material, but like the person who's processing it isn't really bringing it to its optimal, and there's like a little level of ego that goes with it. They don't really want to be told to do things differently because it's kind of how they've always done it, and so. You're like, well, I mean, you got good material, but I don't like how you're doing it, and I'd buy it, but I can't because it's just not that great. So, I don't know. It's not bad. It's a gentle tea. Buying Shan stuff is a little bit more on the gentle side of things. It's not like super oppressive bitter wise. Light astringency. It's just not. I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Unix, I'm gonna have to fix my taste after this one. So we'll see. Just not. And I think that was some of the experience that we had even in the first year with buying Shan. Like the stuff that we put into Whispering Sunshine was hands down like super awesome, really impressive stuff. But the rest of it, I kind of like worked it into a nice blend to kind of balance it out. And that was Hidden Song. I think Hidden Song was like my first experiment on really trying to like do like a quality blend, a quality of mixing different qualities. So I thought. The teas each had interesting, unique characteristics on their own. That was the first time when I like sat down with like each one and kind of like ranked them on a scale from like 0 to 10 in a bunch of different areas, and then kind of sat down and worked to blend them together. And I think Hidden Song actually worked out really well. Hidden Song was a really good blend. We still have some of the 2016 Hidden Song, maybe less than 50 cakes or something like that. All right, let's see what this last one does. But I think, given its track record, I think I know where it's going to go. Let's get another teapot out. Yeah, if you guys didn't get a chance to check out this weekend's tea stream, we actually we had on some local tea nerds, the Dawsons. It was a lot of fun, and they actually gave a mystery tea. We drank it on the stream. I had to try and figure out what it was. I actually came pretty close. Pretty close to guessing it. I guessed it was kind of a little bit of an educated guess. You know, like they'd given enough hints, but I guess like a mid 90s Dai Munghai production, and that's what it was. But I still got it in this teapot because it just smells amazing. We drank a little bit of it yesterday as well. So good, just a really nice, crisp, clean, clear mineral notes. Super nice. Sometimes you just don't want to give it up. How do I go about blending, Jacob Hamlin? It's a really good question. Man, this tea is just like there's not even anything there. That was decently long steep, third steep, and it just really light. Hardly getting anything out of it. It's awkward. Pretty light color-wise as well. I'm gonna pull the plug. Pulling the plug in the Buying Shan, guys. Sorry, Mr. Buying Shan Farmer. I don't know that we'll be able to get anything more from you this year. Although I might be interested in that Whispering Sunshine if I ever. I know it's pretty good stuff, but I think I'd have to be there and watch him doing the production just to make sure he's getting it right. Because last couple times we pre-ordered stuff from him, just wasn't quite right. Jacob Hamlin, your question about how I go about blending. So my rough philosophy on blending is you blend to make something better. I don't blend just to well, you know, if you guys remember like the chat that we had with Marshall N a couple months ago, Marshall N and a lot of the people that run in those circles believe that blending is only done to hide tea. Blending is only done to cheat the customer. I don't believe in that. It's certainly done in China. A lot of people will take, you know, really strong, really high quality tea, throw it in, you know, like 10%, and then, you know, like 90% is just like some just garbage everyday nonsense thing, and then, you know, then they can, you know, sell a lot more, and then, you know, they can sell it for, you know, have higher profit margins and claim that it has tea from this area and things like that. And that's awkward, and I don't believe in that, and I don't think that's the right way to go. When I'm blending, there's a handful of things that I'm trying to do, and one of them is I want to be able to add my artistic touch to the tea, I guess, to the product. You know, there's so many different stages of craft that goes into making the tea, and I just want to be able to have my hand in it. So I like the idea that I don't know, that I'm kind of working on something. And the other one is a lot of times we find really interesting teas that have maybe a singularly unique characteristic, but then the rest of it just isn't that great. And a tea like that, when combined with other teas, can actually make something that's greater than the sum of its parts, is the way I describe it. Skovson, blending can be cost efficient. Yeah, there's a level of that can come down to it. You know, if you've got like a, you know, if you've got like a gushu material from a tea mountain, and you've also got, you know, like small arbor tree material from a tea mountain, and like that gushu material is, you know, like, I don't know, $500 a kilo or something like that. But their small arbor tree material is, you know, like maybe $100 a kilo. You know, you could work something in there to create, you know, a product that might be more reachable for people on a budget. Yeah, absolutely. But you know, for us, like the tea, the blend itself still actually has to work. I'm not gonna just, you know, make a blend just to have a cheap blend. Like the blend itself still just has to work. And the right way to do that is to like actually continue to offer, you know, like the, you know, like expensive, you know, like old tree offering, and then offer, you know, like a blended down lighter version of that, and then have something available for both customers. That'd be the smart way to do it. So like the actual nuts and bolts of blending for me is I really want to get, you have to be like intimately familiar with all the different parts that are going into a blend. So I take copious notes. I usually rank things on a scale of body, aroma, flavor, mouth feel, energy, aftertaste. I kind of do like a 0 to 10 scale on those things. Spend some time with the different teas over multiple sessions, multiple days. Kind of really get a handle on what the actual base material is, and then start to recognize like the pros and cons of a certain tea. Like, okay, this tea has like really good. This tea's got like absolutely incredible body, but like there's just like nothing there. It's just like it feels so nice and thick, but like it's got like really the aroma's not there, and so you can mix that with another tea that may have like a really nice positive aroma notes, but maybe is a little bit of a weaker tea, and you can kind of work back and forth on the actual percentages in the blend, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's roughly how I go about it. And it's fun. I actually really enjoy it. I really enjoy adding a little bit of creativity to the process. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Nice leaves in the sunshine. Oh, this is gonna be fun if this is where the time of day is right now. Get some nice Seattle sunshine. Let's see, what are we talking about? Mr. Eunuch had experience with Four Seasons Oolong, your local tea shop. So light and mild you could barely taste it. It could be nice tea, but I'm not familiar with it. Yeah, it's sometimes you just kind of want something more. In those teas like that, like you can maybe get a better experience if you like doubled the ratio and doubled the leaves. But I'd already used like 10 grams in this 10 grams in this Gaiwan, and that's why I'm really particular about like using the exact same teaware when I'm tasting teas, the exact same ratio, the exact same everything, so that I can actually like do like proper A/B tests between different teas. Like if I was like, hey, well, this tea tastes great, but all these different ratios, well, then it's not an actual true test of that tea. So now I know that like side by side, brewed exactly the same way, this tea just doesn't stack up where the other ones do. Yeah, Skovson, you can get something that's more expansive than single estate, and it's nice sometimes to be able to offer, we certainly do offer single estate offerings. We offer like single tree offerings, and I think it has to be like a really special material to really be able to actually stand out, especially for single tree. Single tree stuff usually is like really amazing in like one single area, like fully at the detriment of others, and rarely do we actually like find like single tree offerings where you're like, wow, okay, yeah, that's super stellar. And when it is, if the price is right, or if we think people will actually go for it from an educational perspective, or we'll pick it up, like the Kunlu Gushu single tree stuff from last year. God, that's just crazy good stuff. A little bit light. So this is a small arbor tree material, Chamu from Manjuan, which I actually really enjoy. I enjoy Manjuan a lot. So we're gonna see what this does. It's been a while since I've had it, probably multiple years. I think we picked this up maybe in maybe 2018 or something. Can't remember exactly. So we'll see how it is. Skovson wants. What do you want, Skovson? Do you worry about leaving tea leaves in a pot overnight, or do anything like flash rinsing the next morning? Yeah, if I'm gonna leave something in a pot overnight, even in a Gaiwan, I'll make sure it's covered, and I'll do a flash rinse with boiling water, and then I'll just kind of taste it. Do another steep and kind of see how it is from there. If it's not worth it, it's not worth it. But I don't know, if you talk to like the potters in Zhengshui, they'll be like, oh man, you can keep your tea in this for a week. Like Zhengshui, prohibits bacteriological growth and stuff like that. They'll do all sorts of things. They're like, yeah, we brew tea in this, like every day for like 2 weeks, or they'll tell you all these like huge stories and stuff. But it's not entirely true. But I probably won't drink this again. But I've certainly enjoyed the aroma of it. It's just it's really nice. What are my water to tea ratio for Gong Fu? Okay, so I like to brew in 150 ml Gaiwan, so this is 150 ml. 150 ml with a 1 to 15 ratio means I can use exactly 10 grams in that. And if I'm blending, like having things in multiple tens is great. So if you're working on like a 3-tea blend and it's like, you know, you've got 45% of this, 45% of that, 10% of that, it's super easy to do the math because I'm really bad at math. And so if I can do it in my head, I don't have to worry about it. 10 grams in 150 ml teapot, you know, like 45, 45, 10, that's 4.5 grams, 4.5 grams, and 1 gram. It's like super easy. It's even for math phobes like me, it's pretty easy to do that math. So I like to stick in that ratio. And then I'll use boiling water. And so if I'm using like a teapot or we're doing something else, then I still do that, you know. So it's I'll use like the 1 to 15 ratio. That's just what I found works really well. Now sometimes some teas actually you find out they work better with a little bit more leaf, a little bit less, and you can do that. Ooh, this is super nice. It's like cotton candy, super sweet. Scottson, I don't know your question. When you present it, the leaves in the Gaiwan. Oh yeah, when you want those leaves in there. What is that? It's a little bit on the savory side, which is a little bit unusual for Manjuan. Manjuan's a little bit more fruity floral in my experience, but it has been a little while, and it has actually just been plastic stored, so it's not the optimum. But I don't really have any good way to store tons of Mao Cha samples if they're not just in plastic bags. Right, Mr. Unix, you're just about a Gaiwan. I'll only buy 180 ml. Usually only drink about 80 ml. That's awkward. I'll admit that's a little bit awkward. It's tough to find exactly like the right size. In fact, this one here is probably maybe like a little closer to like 145-ish or something like that. So you kind of got to make do. And well, at least it's easier to go the other way. I mean, you could take 180 ml Gaiwan and you could figure out like where on there is like the 100 ml line, or figure out where on there is like the 80 ml line. You could kind of just like eyeball it with smaller sessions. It's not optimal, but sometimes it's kind of hard to get things in the exact right size that you want. So, for example, like we actually had these ones custom made for us in this size, because this exact like size and shape is just exactly what how gorgeous is that, like this nice little drippies. It's actually pretty nice stuff. We could get more of these made. There we go. That's nice. It's got some nice blue, but it's these ones are they're so expensive because these ones were actually thrown on a wheel by hand. It just the cost just adds up. Yeah, this is a really beautiful Gaiwan. Hey, for you guys that are into Gaiwans, do you actually use the Gaiwan tray as well? I know some people do. What do I got? I got, you know, some people actually like to. You can actually brew like this. You know, you can actually kind of hold it like that. I know some people brew like that. The tray actually adds a noticeable amount to the cost of the product, which is why we're always trying to figure out like if we could actually get away with like selling Gaiwans without the tray. I actually never ever use the tray, but I know some people do. It's technically like essential, like an essential part of the Chinese mythology around it. Like the tray is the earth, the Gaiwan is you, and the lid is the sky, or something like that. They kind of have this like collective thing where it's got to all be kept together. I don't know. Maybe that's an old Potter trick to sell more stuff or something like that. Sometimes you kind of wonder where those things came about. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, I pretty much do the same thing. Well, my Gaiwans in storage are all on their trays, but then when I'm actually out here brewing with it, I very rarely actually do that. Ty, you're getting a nice blueberry aftertaste from the Emerald Sea session. I can totally see that. I get it. I absolutely agree. There is some stuff worked into that blend that is blueberry-ish. Yes, you're right. You're right. Lana Del Swag. No, there's a name. Yes, the tray is just one more piece to break. The guy one, Mr. Unix, the guy one you're going to buy is actually going to be your first guy one ever. Congratulations. You'll always remember your first. Since I'm always on a tiny budget, but I highly doubt I'll use the tray. Yeah, go ahead and grab whatever you can get, and you'll work it out. The nice thing about getting like a slightly bigger guy one is you can actually use less leaf in it, and you can put in less water, and you can still have a usable experience from it. And then if you actually brewed tea for more people, then you could actually use the fuller size of it, which is pretty handy. I'm gonna do a little side by side on some of my cups here, since I'm not worried about analyzing this one for tasting. Breaking out the good stuff, the good cups. There's one reason, yeah. When I'm doing a tea, analyzing it for purchase, like I was with this buying Shan, I will never ever use this cup. This is one of my absolute favorite cups, and this cup here will literally just makes everything taste better. Everything in this cup is just good. It just thickens it up. It adds body. It's just lovely. But if you're trying to determine if you want to purchase a tea, you want it to be as scientific and logical and straightforward as possible. All right, let's see if this one gets the other tea out of my mouth. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. That's what I was looking for. Sven, you brew on a cloth on your kitchen counter. The dish with the guy one helps with minor spillage. Yeah, I can see that. If you didn't actually have a tea tray or something, it could work. That's good. It's a good point. Cheaper is relative, Scoffson. Scoffson wants to know if I would ever do some cheaper clay guy ones. I don't know. It's it really depends on what is meant by cheaper. You know, if you're getting like quality clay, you want it to be like made quality. You know, you're gonna have to cut some corner to make things cheaper. And I think we were selling these ones in the $45 or $50 range, which is probably the right price for actually like handmade wheel thrown ones. Whereas the Celadon guy ones here, these ones were sold for around $35, which is a pretty good price. But these ones were pressed into a mold, and they no longer make that mold, which is why we can't sell them anymore, which is really unfortunate. We sold some Genshui guy ones. So I have one around here. We sold some Genshui guy ones for a time, but I don't know. Those ones just seemed a little. For the price, it just seemed like it was easier just to get a teapot. I don't know. It was kind of a toss up. Andrew McInnes, wish you could find a store that had basic white guy ones in various sizes. You just got to go to China, or go to like AliExpress or Taobao or check online. You can get like a billion guy ones in every single size and shape that you could possibly want. But it is nice to be able to have a local place where you can kind of go and sit there and try the pu'er and things. But if you're not actually in China or in a place that has like a full scale tea market, that can be super tricky. Mr. Unix just came across Bai Yabao Wild Tree White Tea. Do you have any experience with that? It's totally new to me. So that's an interesting thing. At least they're calling it white tea instead of white pu'er. Oftentimes you'll see people, like they'll take white tea and they'll press it into a cake and they'll be like, "Hey, look, we've made white pu'er." It's like, it's not white pu'er. There's no such thing. White tea will never be pu'er, even if it's made from Camellia sinensis, Asamaka in Yunnan. So, Yabao is a really interesting thing. So in winter, the tea trees produce an interesting shaped pre-spring, late winter bud thing. It's kind of one of the first shoots that they push out. If you wait a long time, that bud will grow out into, you know, like 5 or 6 leaves and a bud. But if you pick it right then, it looks like I don't know, it looks like a camellia pre-flower kind of thing, or it kind of looks like a pine cone or something like that. You get these little fun things, almost like crab claws or something. They're kind of an interesting little shape. You've probably seen them in there. So that's what yabao is. Yabao is like late winter, early spring, pre-picking, first bud, first growth kind of thing. You take all those and you snap them off the tree, process them as white tea, which means just, you know, sticking them in a greenhouse for 4 days or so. You've now made yabao white tea. They're saying it's specifically from wild tree. It's hard to know whether it is or not. So yabao's some interesting stuff. I've had some interesting yabao experiences. So you just have to you'll have to let us know what you think of it for yourself. Have you tried it yet? Yeah, this tea's definitely thicker, even from the first steep, even in the porcelain. It's nice to see that. A little bit more interesting stuff going on. So meaning a little bit more layered bitterness, a little bit more layered astringency. Having bitterness in a tea is really not something that you should shy away from. It certainly adds to the experience. Now, in a perfect world, you want something that's, you know, like gives you like a pop of bitterness, a pop of astringency, and then just turns into sugar as it melts down the back of your throat. And you'll get those experiences from like really high-end Lao Banjiang and other high-end old tree material and stuff like that. But you can get smaller experiences of it from other places and smaller tree material, but that's ultimately kind of like the goal of what you're looking for in pu'er. Yeah, Mr. Unix, just doing some tea shopping. Came across it, thought I'd ask your thoughts. Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. That stuff can usually you can just it's very easy to brew. You can just brew the snot out of it and just, you know, as hot as you want. There's some really interesting flavors that come through the yabao experience. There's a what was it? Last time I had a bunch of yabao. I don't have any around here. There was a really nice what is that? How would you describe it? It reminded me of like habanero vodka. I don't know if that makes sense. It was I don't know, something about the heat and about the essence of it. It wasn't necessarily. I'm not saying it was spicy, but I don't know if you've ever had like pepper infused vodkas before or something like that. But the yabao experience that I had was something like that last time I had it. That's right, Jacob Hamlin. The bitterness helps the sweetness to pop. You're right. You've got to have you have to have a contrast. If it's all sweetness, then it's just too much. And if it's all bitterness, it's also too much. And so you kind of work it together in like the yin yang. You need a balance. This tea also has more energy than the last one, even from that first steep. Oh, I had this blend I was working on this weekend. It was just an absolute mind wrecker. I was just like, "Wah!" Kept having sessions with it, and it was just should press it and just call it lobotomy or something like that. She was just like, even thinking about it right now. I thought about like making that this morning's morning match my special like lobotomy blend I came up with this weekend. That was just a mind wrecker. That was a good session. But then, like I said, sadly, 40% of the material that I needed is now sold out. It's no longer available. It's tough. Yeah, Mr. Unix. Yeah, you're right. The Bud white teas are pretty forgiving. You can go in heavy-handed, and it'll just don't care. All right, let's see what this tea does. Whew. I'm still feeling it, guys. I'm not a morning person. Never really have been. There is a little bit of a rough edge to this tea. And it kind of lingers a little bit. It's probably just from the since it's a small tree material. It's not bad though. It's a lot better in the clay though. The clay actually really softens it up. Anybody got anything fun going on this week? What do you guys got planned? What are you working on? I am helping to renovate a fixer-upper kind of house that Lamo and I are working on, and so this week is the week I'm going to try and get as much of it done as possible. So actually, after we get this done, after I do this session here, Lamo and I are going to sit down where I can actually plow through some new show pu'er samples that we got. I'm going to see if we can find some good stuff, make some good blends out of that, and then and I'm probably going to run over to the fixer upper home and start getting stuff done. Pretty close in the home stretch. It'll be nice to get that all finally finished up. Mr. Unix, got to get going. University classes call. Have a good one, man. Really appreciate you tuning in. Good luck in your classes. Kevin House is writing biology exams. Wow, that I don't envy that. I don't remember any of my biology exams fondly. So I don't know. Maybe you really enjoy writing biology exams, but I might let you do that. So is that what you do? Are you a biology teacher then? Man, I'm gonna stick with the clay. I'm gonna stick with the clay on this. This is not tasting great out of that cup. And I want to have a nice session this morning. Pond is finally frozen nicely. Ty, gonna spend most of the weekend ice fishing. That sounds like a lot of fun. I've never been ice fishing myself, but I've got a lot of relatives that used to go do a lot of ice fishing. Originally from Michigan, and those lakes freeze up real nice. Ooh, spring break next week. I forgot. I don't remember. Now that I'm not in school, I don't know when spring break is. Well, I mean, I know what spring break is because it's in spring, but I don't remember exact dates and stuff. So spring break, fun. Yeah, go. Don't get COVID on the beach. That's my suggestion for your spring break. Lana Del Swag, do you think there is a reason so much of America's pu'er is seemingly in the Pacific Northwest relative ease of shipping from China? I would argue that the Pacific Northwest is more into pu'er just because, I don't know, I think just the nature of the type of people in the Pacific Northwest and just the history of it and the area. People here are just really open to new things. If you think about the frontier expansion and the American push to colonize westward expansion. This was the last place that got really colonized, or not colonized, but this is the last place that got expanded into. So these were the people that basically, as they were moving west, didn't like anything on the East Coast, didn't like anything in the middle of America, and just kept going until they found what they wanted over here. And I just think there's something about like that personality that has persisted to give a fairly unique quality to the Northwest, where they just don't like things that other people like. If that's a good way to describe it, maybe from a somewhat of a hipster perspective or something, I guess is how it would be described in modern times. People in the Northwest just do what they want to do, and they don't really care what other people think, to be honest. And so that, coupled with the there's a long history on the West Coast of Asian influence, obviously being like the closest to Asia. You've got like even like at this point in time, like fourth or fifth generation Chinese that have been living on the West Coast, came over during like the railroad expansion, worked on the railroads, like in the 1800s, and kind of laid a foundation for strong acceptance of Asian culture. And then as other Asian cultures came in, you guys would not believe, unless you actually lived in this area, like how many Asian groceries are around here. We've got like Vietnamese restaurants. You got like a billion types of like Japanese food, like Korean food. You can just get like anything that you want here. Really strong, really strong collective Asian culture, and with that comes an appreciation of Asian tea and things like that. So I think it all just kind of like layers into that. A lot of tea drinkers in the area. A lot of I don't know. That's, I guess, how I would describe it. You're also super close to Vancouver, BC. Vancouver, BC is one of like the largest Hong Kong expat communities. So like when they left Hong Kong in the 90s to move into Vancouver, BC, they just brought all their tea with them. So I think it's kind of been like I don't know. We just maybe had like a little bit more of a jump start on the pu'er scene in the Pacific Northwest. Jacob Hamblin is let's see, Kevin. Oh man, I'm lost in chat. Tea Student 97 looking for a dragon teapot this weekend. I wish I had one to sell, but I think we're all sold out at this point in time. We got more coming. Golan Strong, slowly continuing to die in front of your laptop like a good corporate drone. There you go. That's the spirit. That's awesome. There you go. That's the attitude. Hey, just this is the way you handle that, because I have certainly spent my time as a corporate drone in front of a laptop. Pretend that they are your sponsors, right? So you know how like you've got like an athlete, and that athlete's got like gets sponsored by Nike and Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Monster and Red Bull and stuff like that. And so these people pay them a certain amount of money to do what they want to do. That's it. That's the perspective to have. Your corporation that you are slaving in front of is your sponsor. Your real life is actually like when you're not at work, and they are just giving you money to enjoy your time not at work. So you just have to make sure that you actually do enjoy that time not at work. So find what you're super passionate about. That's your life. And then 8 hours a day, you sit in that office, and then they pay you. They're your sponsor they're your sponsor for what you really want to do. And with that mindset, I've been able to get through a lot of really crappy jobs. But hey, now I've got a job that's not so crappy, which I enjoy very much. Kevin teaches biology at community college. What's up, Teach? I was just teasing. I actually really enjoyed my biology classes. Jacob Hamlin's stimmy check came through, looking to get himself a tea and a clay teapot this weekend. Nice. I think a lot of people are going to be doing some stimmy purchases. Skovson wants to try ice fishing so bad. Sounds like a blast in good company. I think it would be a blast. Would be a blast in good company. Get it set up right. Sit out there. Maybe some buddies, some brews, some ice fishing. Maybe bring a little tea out there to keep your belly warm. Ty says ice fishing is nice. Nothing beats being out in the ocean catching cod. Don't know how people landlocked can stay sane during the summer. Dude, I think about that. I don't spend a lot of time on boats, but I have a strong affinity towards them. I'm going to assume that I got that from my Viking culture. you know, every now and then we think about moving to you know, different places, look at other places in the U.S. You know, like, would it be easier to run a business here, raise a family there? And every single time I'm like, man, but I wouldn't be able to see the water. Even though I'm not like out on the boat, I just like being able to see boats. I guess I like to be able to see boats, and I like to be able to see the water. And I love the Pacific Northwest. It's just gorgeous out here. It's this idea that I wouldn't be around the ocean. Kind of terrifies me. I don't know. I would actually love to. I'd love to get a boat. I'd love to spend more time on the water. I think that would be a lot of fun. But at this point in time, it's just not in the cards. So Ty, where do you live that you're so close to the ocean? Ty's talking to Scobson. It definitely is like having a campfire on the shore to cook and eat fish. That sounds great, man. Scobson sounds like a good fishing name. I don't know. I can imagine. I don't know. It just sounds like a good, like a Scandinavian fishing name. I don't know exactly where you're from, but people around your area not into fishing. Golan Strong has good tea. Yes, that's nice. That certainly helps. Thai's a whole economy is based on fishing, so basically everyone loves fishing. Yeah, it's nice. There's a huge fishing community in the Pacific Northwest. Clearly, and this is actually one of the base ports for a lot of the Alaska fishing. Everybody runs up to Alaska. Alaska fishing, Alaska crabbing and stuff, a lot of those boats. If you guys have watched any of the TV shows like Deadliest Catch and things like that, the pseudo-documentary things about, you know, like Alaskan crabbing, all those boats are actually based right down here in Seattle. So you can actually go down into Ballard. Ballard is our local traditional Scandinavian community, and all of those fishing boats are all just like parked right there. That's actually where they're based out of. Yeah, it does sound like a fisherman's name. I like it. Oh, sea air is just so nice. You live in Newfoundland. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it's probably it's the other side from us. Yeah, you've got a lot of fishing going on up there. Almost all your communities are on the coastline. So, yeah, a little bit of a Viking history there, of course. Yeah. So, the newfound land. Yeah, like I said, I like boats. So Lamu's family has never really been around large bodies of water. They do. There's a big lake in Yunnan. Let me see what happened to my music here, guys. Oh, it crashed. There's a large lake in Yunnan, but for whatever reason, there's almost no boats. Excuse me. There's almost no boats on it. I don't entirely understand why. One sec. Let me get this stream going again. Yeah, there's just not a lot of boats on the lake in Yunnan. Dion Lake, you can actually look it up. Go to a map of Kunming. Check it out. I know there's just not a big boating community. A couple little like fishermen and stuff and things, but the lake is just so dirty that I really wouldn't want to eat much fish out of the lake anyways. But I guess they still do. It's funny. I was actually talking to some of the fishermen there because they're always lining the shore. They're just like fishing like nonstop. I was talking to them. It's just like, hey, do you guys ever go out there? You ever go swimming? And they're like, no. It's like you can't swim in this water. The water's toxic. It's horrible. And I'm like, so how's the fish taste? And they're like, fish tastes great. I'm like, it's just, we didn't really make that connection that maybe the fish aren't worth eating from a toxic lake, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, so Lamu's family came over here after we got married, and like the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle area has like a really well organized system of ferries to get from the different towns and stuff. Some of the ferry rides are like 90 minutes long, and the ferries will, like fit like 500 cars on these ferries. They'd literally never seen a ferry before. Like this idea that you're just going to like drive onto a boat and like 400 other people all drove onto the boat, and then it was just they were just like so surprised. We're like, this is so cool. The Washington State ferry system is just like these massive, massive, massive boats. It's a lot of fun. Actually, one of the cool things is all the ferry system in the Pacific Northwest. They allow motorcycles on first, and so if you're actually like a motorcycle traveler in the U.S. In the Northwest, it's awesome because you can pull up to the ferry absolute last minute, and you just get to like drive right to the front of the line. So you get a first on, first off for ferries if you're on a motorcycle, which is a lot of fun. I actually really like riding in the Pacific Northwest, motorcycle riding. And super easy to get around on the ferries because of that. And after a couple steeps with this one here, this one's not really working it for me either. Not sure why. Maybe I just got a case of the Mondays. Maybe I just got a handful of I don't know. It's just it's not giving me that positive Monday morning boost that I was hoping for. It just feels like a little too dense. It just feels like it's kind of like a little bit of a weighty tea or so. I don't know. Not sure if I want to pop in a third or not. We'll see. Or maybe I can just bring the stream down before it crashes in another 15 minutes anyways. maybe that's the answer. What have we been doing? Drinking tea for about 70 minutes now, something like that. 67 minutes. It's not too bad. Pretty good little session. Yeah, maybe I'll actually just close the stream out now in a couple minutes. If anybody else had any questions or anything that they're curious about, I'm always open to chat about stuff, answer questions, tea related, anything, except for politics. We really don't talk into politics on the stream, but it's just nicer that way. We can just agree to disagree. But yeah, more than happy to talk about tea. That's one of the fun things when we're in China. I guess not one of the fun things, but one of the funny things I've noted over time is like everybody that we have tea with is absolutely passionate about talking about politics, as long as it's American politics. Like the minute like I talk about like Chinese politics, they're like, whoa. They're like, we can't talk about Chinese politics. I think it's really funny because they're always like sitting there like arguing with me about American politics, but like no. Chinese politics, like no go. Literally, you just can't discuss it. I always think that's kind of funny. I'm like, man, we spent all this time talking about American politics. We should talk about Chinese politics. They're like, no. It's kind of funny. Just kind of funny, anecdotally. Random question from Ro. What's going on, Ro? My buddy, my local, my neighbor. You need to get your brother a birthday gift. He's really into coffee. There's like 9 billion Gushu tree Laobanjiang equivalents of. Is there a 9 billion Gushu tree Laobanjiang equivalent of coffee? Yeah, let me see. Where is let me see what what you need to do is you need to go to Seattle, go to Victrola, or go to what does Victrola got? Yeah, maybe check online, see what like Cafe Vita, see what Victrola, see what like Herkimer or shoot, what's the other coffee shop up on the hill? What you want to look for is a single origin beans, right? So go to any of the bigger coffee shops, or check out what they've got online. I mean, what I mean by bigger coffee shops is like the more established, smaller micro roasters. What's that other one? Is Herkimer still around? Herkimer does good stuff. Herkimer Coffee, Victrola, Cafe Vita has some nice stuff. Nelson? Is it Nelson Coffee? No. What's that? What can I think of it? Nelson? Is it Nelson? No, it's that kid from The Simpsons. What's the name of that? I can't I can't think of it. I'm spacing. It's been too long since I've been to the fancy coffee shops in Seattle. What's that other one? Cold brew. Seattle. Man, I'm spacing. What are all the yeah, anyways, yeah, check out like Victrola, check out like Herkimer, check out those shops. Look for anything that they've done recently that's like small production, single origin. You'll be able to find something interesting. The last thing that I had that was really nice was what was that? If you can find any like geisha varietal, Gesha, those are some really interesting stuff. Some interesting, yeah. The last time I had a really awesome experience. There's some interesting stuff coming out of some Central America, geisha varietal, single origin coffee beans. Like hook them up with some fresh made stuff like that. You're gonna be set. He's gonna love it. Really good stuff. And if he doesn't brew with an AeroPress, think about getting him an AeroPress. I actually really enjoyed brewing coffee in the AeroPress. Super cool tea brewing thing, coffee brewing thing. I've actually brewed tea in it as well. But yeah, get him an AeroPress if he doesn't have it, and get some nice a nice like locally roasted, freshly done single origin. Pretty cool. He's gonna like it. Millhouse. Is that it? It's Millhouse. Millhouse coffee. Thank you. Yes. Is it Millhouse? It is. No. It is Millhouse. It was Millhouse. It had to be Millhouse. That name just pops in my head. I don't know, but it's not. I'm not pulling it up. I thought there was a coffee shop in Seattle called Millhouse. It had to be Millhouse. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm spacing now. It's not coming up to me. Had to be Millhouse. Name's just perfect. What is that? Where was that at? I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it here, guys. I don't know. I can't find it. Oh, I don't know. Milstead. It was close to Millhouse. Milstead. Is it Milstead? Milstead coffee. You guys see how my mind works. There you go, Milstead. I was so close. That's how my mind had to think about it. Like reminded me of The Simpsons. Millhouse. Milstead Coffee Company. Check out Milstead. Check out Herkimer. Check out Victrola. Or shoot, even some of the bigger ones. I can't even think about them right now. But yep, there you go. That's it. You can message me afterwards, Ro, and I can maybe help you out with some more suggestions. But yeah, he's gonna love it, guys. I think I'm gonna call it here. These teas are both just not doing it for me, and I think I'm gonna go and get some work done. I'm gonna reset my palette, and Lamo and I are going to do a deep dive into a pu'er after this. We're gonna do some tasting, some blending, try and get some new fun pu'er stuff out. So I really appreciate this. I enjoy having tea with everybody. I enjoy these the Monday morning mauchas. Big thanks to everybody on the other side of the pond. All my non-American friends who jump in to have some tea with us in their evening. Super appreciate it, and everybody in America that wakes up and has a little tea with us as well. It's always a lot of fun. So. Yes, Scotson, enjoy your Monday, everybody. Yes, thank you. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. And this Saturday on Between Two Teapots, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Max and Arby from the Discord tea chat, and they have sent us some special water they call Truth Serum. So we're actually going to be brewing the exact same tea with the exact same water collectively in a video session, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So please join us, and that's Saturday afternoon at 2:30. And awesome, great, thanks. Have a good week, guys. Love you all. See you.